In this video, we'll be reviewing the scheduling process and the My Client report. Who is responsible for scheduling? The scheduling team will schedule all initial evaluations, some first follow-up appointments with clients if the evaluation was done by another SLP. They may schedule you for evaluations and some follow-ups if a client was authorized for one eval and some visits. In some cases, if a client was authorized for more than just the evaluation, you may just be scheduled for the evaluation. So this depends on a lot of variables. So just be aware that it may not always be the same. And the scheduling team is also responsible for in-clinic teletherapy station scheduling, as well as in-clinic, in-person, SLP, and SLPA appointments. What is the SLP responsible for scheduling? As clinicians, you're responsible for scheduling the first round of follow-up visits that are authorized by insurance and any ongoing visits until the client is discharged. Also, your scheduled visits are probably going to come in bulk, in groups of probably 12 visits at a time usually, but sometimes more and sometimes less. So you are responsible for the ongoing scheduling of follow-up visits once a new auth is received until the client basically will turn yellow, and then you'll know to schedule them until they're discharged. You want to continue scheduling for follow-ups for any new clients as auths come in until your caseload is completely full. A reminder to never reschedule evaluations. If an evaluation needs to be canceled by yourself or by the client, you can mark it as canceled and make a note in the scheduling log and send an email to schedule@slptele.com, but do not reschedule the evaluation. Evaluations will always be rescheduled by the scheduling team. Reevaluations are the responsibility of the SLP and will be done approximately every 6 months. You can review the reevaluation video for more detail on that. Reminders to please keep your regular availability consistent. Also keep your calendars updated and make sure all future auth visits are scheduled on your scheduler. Just an overview of how to read the report, and we'll take a look at the report in just a moment. If a client's name has turned yellow, that means that they need attention, that they will be scheduled for ongoing follow-ups, and this applies to any in-home tele clients only. Any client that has turned red means that sessions have paused and that you're not to schedule any more visits for now. This could be because more authorizations are needed, or insurance has expired, or maybe the authorization has expired. You want to check to make sure authorizations have been requested in this case. The system will not allow you to schedule anyone whose name has turned red. So ideally, you want the client's name to be colorless, which means that future visits are scheduled. And best practice would be to schedule all of the visits in an auth, which means unscheduled visits should read 0. So let's take a look at the report. You access the report through your dashboard. And so here's the button for My Clients. Once you click the button, it will generate a live report. This report is something that updates daily. We receive auths every day, and we ask that you check this report every day for any updates that might come. As mentioned before, yellow means that the client is ready to be scheduled. Red means that the client is not going to be scheduled because there's some issue. In this case, auth has not come in yet. And you can check under auth request date. It looks like auth hasn't been requested yet. So in a case like this, there's been a lot of time lapsed between when the evaluation was completed and auth wasn't requested. So you would want to check in and see what is going on. However, in most cases, you will see a date in this column, which means that auth has been requested. And typically auths can take anywhere from 7 to 10 business days. If you find that things are taking longer than that, you can check in to see if there's a delay or perhaps an auth was rejected. But in most cases, we do get auths accepted, and they are going to turn yellow. So test child is ready for scheduling of 12 visits. So what you're going to do is we're going to go to the scheduler. And for all clients, you want to call them and confirm an ongoing schedule. You may have clients that may not want to commit to an ongoing schedule, but it is a good idea to go ahead and explain to them that a confirmed schedule will help keep everyone on track. And of course, if things come up, you can adjust along the way and confirm on a week-by-week basis. So this particular client, Child Test, has confirmed for 3 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays. So we can actually reoccur the appointment Mondays and Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. And we're going to go ahead and we'll do 10 occurrences for this time, which means we have 12, but there will be 2 outstanding. I want to show you how that would work. You want to make sure your visit type is accurate, follow-up. You always want to make sure your visit type is the correct one. And of course, your treatment location should be correct as well. And of course, double check the time and the date. Once you do recurrence, be aware that if you make a mistake, you will have to go back and delete it one by one. We'll go ahead and save the appointment. And it looks like it did recur, but you want to go into future weeks and double check that the recurrence happened accurately. And it looks like it has. Okay, so for all scheduled appointments, you call and confirm, you plot it on your calendar, and you also want to make sure that you send an email to schedule@slptele.com with the confirmed schedule. And then finally, you want to put a note about the confirmed schedule in the schedule log for the client. Some things to keep in mind. If you schedule all the authorized visits in an authorization and your client has a no-show or a cancellation along the way, the visit will then show up under unscheduled visits. So if you find that you had scheduled everything and the unscheduled visits column read 0, you may now find that this column has a number. And so that is completely normal because the visit hasn't been used and it's up for grabs in the pool again. And so in this case, you have visits scheduled in the future, but not all of the visits in the auth have been scheduled. So you would want to go back and schedule out 2 more future visits. Keep in mind that our billing department will automatically request auths for all clients who complete evaluations unless you check ST not indicated and would you like to stop requesting more auths. And please do review your fact sheet and evaluation video on that, details on how that works. Keep in mind also that our billing department continues to automatically request auths for clients with follow-ups based on the current SOAP note, unless you check, would you like to stop requesting more auths at least 2 weeks or 4 to 6 sessions before. And please review your discharge video for that. That is part of the discharge process. So because of this, there's no need to email schedule@slptele.com to request more authorizations for your clients. Most of the time we do receive auths, but occasionally if we are denied, your SLP manager will reach out to request additional documentation. Do review evaluation videos and best practice tips for evaluations. And finally, some things to keep in mind. Best practices for scheduling. As long as you have room in your schedule, you will schedule follow-ups for any evaluations and reevaluations you complete, unless the scheduling team indicates by email that someone else will be picking up the follow-ups. When you are full, and you will eventually get full, any new evaluations and reevaluations that you've completed will have a different SLP to do the follow-ups. So the cycle will basically repeat, as you'll get a lot of evaluations initially and some follow-ups inherited from other SLPs. And then as you are filling up, you'll end up doing some evaluations that will end up going to other clinicians. And in those cases, the scheduling team should notify you. Please tell us also if you are full by sending an individual email for each client that you have no room for to schedule@slptele.com. Please be aware that clients are scheduled for 12 visits at a time usually. Again, sometimes more, sometimes less. Keep checking your My Clients report on a daily basis for clients that turn yellow. Go ahead and continue to offer those spots to the same clients. We don't want to have your new clients take the spot of your ongoing caseload. And finally, be sure to schedule all visits in an auth for each client. Don't give away the future spots to new clients. Auths will likely be renewed. Don't hold future appointments on your calendar. And please do wait until auth comes in before confirming a schedule with clients. All right, thank you for watching.